What is going on, guys and girls? How are you doing today? It's Single Roleplay here once again. And I always get questions from a lot of new players going into Path of Exile. Which stash tabs are important? Which stash tabs you need to buy when you start playing more and more? And I've been playing for many years and I own all possible stash tabs, and many of them, around 50 actually. This is mostly because I'm creating a lot of builds and I have to store a lot of equipment and gear for my builds so I can get back to them, reshuffle something, recreate something. So for me it's very important. But for the new player, it's just, it would be pretty much lost because, you get your whatever 5 or 10 normal stash tabs there, and pretty much this is it. This is all you get. Even though the game is free, there is one problem, because you can't trade in this free game if you do not own the premium stash tab, guys. So what's the difference between the normal tab and a premium stash tab? So the normal one, you right click and pretty much nothing happens. The premium one, you right click and there comes the options when you can make it public and price the items by setting the exact price item on all of them, or just price them individually as you wish. So these are called the premium stash tab. By default, you don't get this when you start playing the game, and you need to actually upgrade them to premium stash tab. As you can see, upgrade to premium stash tab. So you need to upgrade your existing normal tabs to the premiums if you want to trade. Without this, you can't trade normally in a game. So that's the first problem. So what tabs you actually need for your decent gameplay experience? First of all, definitely the currency tab. Managing currency in the game without owning the currency stash tab is just absolutely impossible. Eventually you will get like 1,000 stacks of things like the transmutation orbs, the scrolls, the alterations, and they will clutter the tab, and it'll be impossible to craft anything and manipulate any decent crafting at this point. So the currency stash tab is your absolute number one priority in the game to buy. You need to buy this. The second thing that you need to buy, let's assume you have your free tabs right there. So what you're gonna do is to buy the quad tab, guys. The quad tab. This is my personal recommendation, and this is a premium quad stash tab. Instead of buying the premium stash tab bundle, never buy this shit. Just buy the premium quad stash tab, guys. This is 4 times the space of the regular stash tabs, and it's premium by default, so you can trade with this tab. Do not buy single tabs. Do not buy stash tab bundles. Just buy quad tabs, and only quad tabs at all. Highly recommended. You can also convert all your existing shitty tabs to the premiums. Just we have like 5 to 10 just small premium stash tab which you can trade. But overall, I do not recommend buying the premium stash tab bundles because they just clutter the whole list. Like there will be a lot of them, and quad just it just saves you a normal amount of space, because it's just enormous amount of space in there and just more shit to put there without scrolling back and forth between a small stash tab. This is your tab for pretty much all the needs, like selling, buying, storing, dumping, whatever. So the first is currency, the second is a quad tab. The third tab, and this is definitely a very important tab, and playing without this is practically like impossible in my opinion, and this is the map tab. Map tab stores maps, and maps are the end game part of the atlas in the game, and you will get like hundreds and thousands of these maps. Managing maps without this is absolutely impossible. So whenever you can, buy this. This is absolutely mandatory. Absolutely mandatory. You can also price like Rice Leaf. They also kind of premium, so you can sell the whole sets of maps. Like in this tab, you can right click, price exact items, like let's say 5Ks for, and all of them will start appear on trade for 5Ks, each one of them. This is very, very nice. I also will talk about the other tabs which exist in the game, but in my opinion, they're not worth buying. So the unique collection tab, in my opinion, this is not important, because it's mostly a waste of time. You can just store your uniques in a quad tab or just normal tabs. This is meant to be there for collectors who just want to store like one example of each weapon or ring with absolutely the best possible stats. So this is like for pure collection. This is like collector stuff. If you're just starting playing the game, there's nothing else for you to collect, trust me. So just don't waste your money on this. The next thing is the Essence tab. In my opinion, this is also a waste of money. There is not so many essences in the game, and as a new player, most likely 99% you will never use essences. There's just very, very, very niche things that you can craft with the essences, and you need to have a lot of knowledge to even start using essences. So unless you know what this shit is and what to do with this is just an absolute waste of time for you to even spend money on the Essence tab. Another tab is the Fragments tab. Now this is actually a very useful tab, and this will be your third priority after buying the currency, the map. This is number 3 because it stores all different fragments from different bosses, different encounters, different things like the access to the Uber Lab, the Divine Vessels, different fragments for the Elder, the Shaper, the Timeless Monoliths, billions of scarabs which you can use to emphasize your mapping experience. This is actually a good quality of life tab, but keep in mind that currency and map comes first, absolutely. Another tab that also exists is the card tab, and this is, I would say, is also a pretty useless tab in my opinion. It's just purely a visual tab which you can, let's say, like take the set of these maps or take the set of these cards, and just shows like when you have a set, like full stacks, unowned, owned, whatever, all of them. It's quite easy to use this and just go to Navali and convert it into some items, but overall the life is absolutely the same without this tab. So personally, I would not recommend buying this, especially for new players, as absolutely worthless. It doesn't have any fantastic quality of life in it, so it's mostly like a waste of money. Another tab which has been introduced later is the Fossil tab. In my opinion, this is another useless tab because you can store all these fossils literally in one normal premium tab. And since these resonators and fossils started stacking, now it's absolutely fine to store them as it is. You don't really need this. You will not get millions of these things, guys. They're not so often dropped. They only drop in delve encounters. So you will not get tons of this. So spending this, buying this tab is kind of a luxury, and it's not even a necessity of any kind. So I do not recommend buying this for the new players. There's also many new tabs introduced, which is kind of Blight, Metamorph, Leak Stash tab bundle, Delirium. Delirium. These are all absolutely worthless. Do not buy this. It's absolute waste of money. They're like pure cosmetic bullshit. They do not give you any fantastic quality of life. Metamorph is like 100% useless. Delirium is semi-useless. Blight is almost entirely useless. All of these things can be stored in one premium small tab. There is absolutely no need to buy anything. So another thing that I would like to mention is that every month GGG holds a sale on the stash tabs. It usually comes at the end of the month, around like 25, 26, 27 date of the end of the month. They usually hold this stash sale. There's always going to discount around like 20% discount as far as I remember. So if you want to buy something, just wait a little bit till the end of the month. This is where you can start buying shit with the big discounts. This is when I buy things if I really need to. So let me summarize, guys. You need to upgrade your existing tabs to premiums if you want to actually sell anything. Then you need to buy the currency tab, which is mandatory to managing your currency in the game. Then you need to buy the map tab, which is absolutely important if you want to map, and you will map, trust me on that. And as the last priority, you should be buying the fragments tab, because just a lot of small things like little fragments of all kind of shit in the game, and just messing around with this can be pretty annoying, especially storing hundreds of these sacrifice fragments is absolutely ridiculous, taking amount of space. Even after all the 7 years the game exists, they still do not stack together, so hundreds of this will take enormous amount of space in your normal tabs. So this is the only way to get rid of the shit and put them over here and stockpile them in one place. So fragments tab is also highly recommended as a third priority. And the most importantly is one big dick quad tab, just to sell everything at once. It also can serve as a dump tab, like if you're mapping fast, you can dump all the shit there and then sort after you're done mapping. Like let's say for a couple of hours you just dump all the shit over here, and then you start picking this shit and checking what's in there, and like salvaging, vendoring, and sorting it. So it serves multiple purpose, and I would not recommend absolutely buying any premium stash bundles or any normal tabs at all. Quad tabs for all your needs. I really hope this video you guys may found useful, and I'll be also releasing more videos about the overall stash management, how you manage your stash, especially considering as you play more you will need more and more space, and you need more and more efficiency in how to manage your stash, because you know it's quite a problem. You will have a lot of different items, and it really needs, I think, some tips for you, especially the starting players, how to manage your shit in this massive game. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.